Hey everyone, so today I wanted to make a video on probably one of the most asked questions I get, and that is, where do I start? So today and over the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be building up my beginner 100 series videos. These are gonna include everything that you need to build your beginner tiki bar at home, including rums, liqueurs, syrups, citrus, and everything in between. I'm also gonna be doing other videos on more advanced and intermediate projects as well. So once you've got your beginner bar set up, what to do after that, and then what to do even after that to make the best tiki cocktails you can at home. So today we're gonna be talking all about rum and the only 5 rums that you need to start your tiki bar. I'm Andy, this is Easy Tiki Drink, so let's do this. All right, so over on Instagram, I get asked a lot about like what rums to buy. Where should I start? Now, I get that question a lot, so I figured I might as well make a video about it. Not only that, but it's past the holidays, and I'm sure a lot of you watching this may have received a cocktail book or a recipe book or something like that for the holidays. Because when you get into bartending and mixology, everyone seems to know. But anyway, a lot of you, I wanted to be able to kind of give you a little bit of groundwork on like where to start. So today I'm gonna go over the only 5 rums that I think you need to start your tiki bar. Now, there are a lot of different categorization kind of protocols out there. Smuggler's Cove has one that goes all the way up to I think about 13. And then Minimalist Tiki has one that, again, I think it's like 7 or 8. So what I've done is kind of slimmed it down to 5. Now, a lot of this is gonna sound very similar to Minimalist Tiki, and it is. I've also dropped a couple of their categories too, because honestly, I just don't think you need them to start your bar. Now again, this is very much a beginner 101 series, so this is really only talking about the 5 rums that I think you should pick up first when starting your own tiki bar at home. So, before I get into that, I think I need a cocktail. I mean, this is a cocktail channel after all, right? So let's make a super simple Mai Tai. I'll sip on it while I talk about some different rums. This is my super simple Mai Tai. As you can see, it's only 4 ingredients. Let's give it a sip. Yeah, I mean, it's a classic for a reason. It's bright, it's tart, it's well balanced, a little sweet, and that Jamaican rum really shines through. Speaking of which, let's talk about our first rum category, and that is aged Jamaican rums. So as you can see here, I've got a couple different examples of this. Basically what we're looking for is we are looking for a rum that comes from the island of Jamaica that has a little bit of age on it. And the reason I say a little bit of age is because we don't need a ton of age on it, but we do need some age, and that is to help differentiate it from another category that you will see in my 201 intermediate series when we add additional rums to this bar. So let's talk about a couple different examples. We've got Plantation Zamaka, which is a lightly aged Jamaican rum. We've got Appleton 12, which is a Jamaican rum that is both a blend of pot and column stills that is aged for 12 years. Another example is Hampton 8 and Smith & Cross. Now, Smith & Cross is a little bit of a different beast because it is a higher proof at 57% ABV. This technically kind of pushes it into slightly the overproof category. So if you do blend with Smith & Cross in your aged Jamaican rum category, please make sure to adjust accordingly or just prepared to be kicked in the teeth with some alcohol. Anyway, there's plenty of others in this category as well. Any of the Appleton Estate work, Signature 8-year, the 12 years just happen to what I have on hand. The Plantation Zamaka is a great example of this. And again, basically this is probably the #1 rum that you really want to start with when we're talking about tiki cocktails. So that's it. Nice and simple, aged Jamaican rum, #1. Moving on. The next up in our category is aged Demerara rum. Now these come specifically from Guyana and specifically from the Demerara River region of Guyana. And there's a little bit less availability in this category. So you're typically gonna see El Dorado as the #1 forerunner for this category. El Dorado 5, El Dorado 8, 12, 15 are all good expressions of an aged Demerara rum. You've also got Hamilton 86 and Lemon Heart 1804. Those are other good examples as well. Moving on to our next one. For our third rum category, what we're going to be looking at is what's known as a moderately aged rum. And this is a bit of a wide category. So unlike the Jamaican rum that we talked about and the Demerara rum, which comes specifically from specific places, this is a bit of a wider category that doesn't have a geographical location. What we're looking for is a rum that could either be blended or not blended. What I mean by that is a blend of stills, so column stills or pot stills, or it could be just simply a column still rum with a bit of age on it. Nothing spectacular, but again, I would say probably no less than 3 years, all the way up to 12 to 15, and even higher is what we're looking for. So some examples of this is Plantation Original Dark, which is a blend of Barbados and Jamaican rums. We've got Dorley's, the 12, the 8, all those are great. Anything really from the Foursquare distillery. So Dorley's, the Real McCoy, and Foursquare are all great examples of a moderately aged rum. We can also look at Puerto Rican rums. So something like a Bacardi 8, Bacardi 10, Bacardi 4, Don Q Anejo. All of those are also great examples of moderately aged rums. Yes, there is a bit of differing in flavor profile of these rums. I get it. But again, I wanted to create a series that was super simple and kind of brought it down to the bare bones. Like saying in a zombie, which calls for a gold Puerto Rican rum, is it the same to use something like a Plantation Original Dark? No. But again, if you're just starting out your bar and to not be overwhelmed, just pick one of these in the category and stick with it for now. We'll expand on them in the later series. Anyway, we're gonna move on to our fourth rum. All right, so moving on to our fourth rum, we have what is known as the lightly aged category. Now, a lot of people also call this a light rum or a white rum. White, as far as color, is not super great in distinguishing rums, so instead we're going to call it a lightly aged rum. Now, this is a rum that is lightly aged, typically 1 to 3 years, and may or may not be charcoal filtered. It depends on how it's aged. Essentially, what we're looking for is a rum that is clear to semi-clear with a little bit of age on it, but nothing major. Again, 1 to 3 years. So some expressions in this, we've got the Tiki Lovers White Rum, we've got Probitas, we've got Plantation 3 Star, what else? Don Q Cristal, Bacardi Superior. Again, it's kind of a wide category with a lot to work with here. I'm trying to think of some others off the top of my head, but those are some pretty decent examples that are pretty readily available. These are rums that don't have a ton of flavor. Now, yes, there are some exceptions to the rule. Probitas, which is a blend of Jamaican and Barbados rums, and I think one other one off the top of my head I can't remember, does have a bit of funk on it. The Plantation 3 Star has a little bit of funk on it. So they are going to add some to the flavor profile, but you could also go with something like a Don Q Cristal, which is going to add almost nothing. It's just going to add a bit of ABV and just a touch of ethanol to the cocktail. So essentially what we're looking for here, again, is something that's aged very lightly, 6 months to a year to 3 years, no more than probably that. And then it is relatively clear or pretty clear, so it could be or could not be charcoal filtered. Again, I'm going to say this, but this is a beginner 101 video for those of you guys that are a little bit more advanced and go, well, there's a difference here in these white rums. Yes, you are correct. But this video is probably not for you then anyway. So anyway, let's move on to our fifth and final rum. All right, so for our fifth and final rum, the category is what is known as an overproof Demerara rum. Now, it's a little misleading. Essentially, what we're looking for is we are looking for a heavy-bodied, overproof rum. Now, yes, it could come from the Demerara region of Guyana, much like the aged Demerara rums. The differencing factor is the aged Demerara rums have a lower proof, whereas the overproof Demerara rums are 50% ABV or higher. So, things like Hamilton 151 or Lemon Heart 151 are great examples. I also like to include Plantation OFTD into this category. Yes, it is a blend of rums. No, it is not all Demerara rums. There's also Barbados and Jamaican rums in this. But yes, it is overproof, and yes, it is a heavy-bodied rum. And that's really what we're looking for here, an overproof, heavy-bodied rum. So something like a Don Q 151 does not fall into this category because it's not heavy-bodied. It's much, much lighter. And that's why a Puerto Rican 151 is not the same as a Demerara 151 or an overproof Demerara rum. This is the category that we're going to use in things like jet pilots and zombies to really boost up, or even a 151 swizzle, to be honest. Which, by the way, if you've never had a 151 swizzle made with OFTD, I highly recommend it because it is delicious. This is the category that's going to really add a lot of body, a lot of flavor to the cocktail, and a lot of ABV. So there you have it, our fifth and final rum, overproof Demerara rum. All right, so there you have it, the 5 rums that I think you need to start your own tiki bar at home. Rum number 1, aged Jamaican. Rum number 2, aged Demerara. Rum number 3, moderately aged. Rum number 4, lightly aged. And rum number 5, overproof Demerara. Those are in no specific order as to when to purchase them. They're just the 5 that I think you really need to start your tiki bar and will allow you to create, I would venture to guess, 85 to 90% of the classic tiki cocktails. Now again, this is a beginner 101 video, so that means that if you're a little bit more experienced, you've built your bar out a little bit more, this video is probably not for you. However, do stay tuned because we are going to do an intermediate and an advanced tiki level 200 series and 300 series about what rums to buy next once we've got the first 5 covered. So if you're interested in that, definitely stick around. But anyway, that's it for today's video. I really just wanted to kind of go over the 5 rums that I think anybody looking to start their tiki bar should purchase first. This way, when you guys ask me about it, I can just direct you here now. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click that little notification bell, follow me over on Instagram and TikTok at EasyTikiDrinks. And until next time, that's about it. I'm gonna go enjoy my Mai Tai, break down these rums, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. So, you know the deal. Take it easy.